As a smart, intelligent guy, when you look at an outfit like this, you see 5 main parts, right? You've got the shoes, the pants, the shirt, the jacket, and a fun accessory like a watch. Well, if you're trying to build this look with a budget of $1,000, $500, or $250, well, it makes sense then that you would take that budget and divide it equally between the items. Actually, no, that doesn't make any sense. Because as anyone who's been out shopping knows, you can find jeans for $50, you'll see pants out there for $500. Shirts, sometimes $20, other times $200. And don't even get me started on watches, $20 to easily $20,000. Now, for such a variance in prices, for what seems like to probably most people to be a very small difference, how much should a person spend on particular items or even an outfit? Or a better question, what are the style principles? What are the rules to spending and saving when you're looking to build your professional wardrobe, when you're looking to put together outfits? Now, before I lay out the principles of when building your wardrobe, where to save and where to spend, I first want to talk about what is truly the importance of your image. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much does your presentation matter to your performance? The reality is some of you guys have jobs in which you really don't interact with anyone. You are dressing for yourself, you're working from home. So in that case, you're dressing for yourself, which, believe it or not, if you want to perform well, doesn't mean you can slack off. Yeah, seriously, there's a whole field of science called enclothed cognition. It talks about how we dress affects how we perform and how we perceive ourselves. So yeah, even if you're working from home, shower, get dressed, maybe wear a nice sweater with your favorite fragrance, and approach your day in an organized, orderly fashion, even if you're not going anywhere. But for those of you guys out there that are customer facing, you work in the service industry, you work in the banking industry, you work in sales, you engage with people on a daily basis. For people in these positions where your clothing is your uniform, spending a bit more to feel confident and to look good, I know is justified. So assuming that you work in sales, you've returned to the office, you work around people, the first principle when it comes to where to spend and where to save is the cost per wear principle, aka the style theory of value. So years ago, I created this overly complex formula to make myself look smart, but the point I wanted to get across is whenever you're buying an item, you are going to use the heck out of. An item you're going to wear again and again for years. For an item like this, focus in on the value, not the price. By approaching it this way, spending more to get an item that is going to serve you for a longer period of time, and every time you wear it, it looks good, it makes you feel good, is a much better value than going cheap, not getting what you want, and never wanting to wear the item at all. Now, on the flip side, does that mean you should only buy $1,000 watches and $500 pairs of shoes? No, the cost per wear principle really applies to when you know what you want. But in the case when you're trying something new, let's say you got to go back to the office, yeah, you're working over there at JP Morgan, Amazon, I know all you guys have to go back to the office now, but you swore 3 years ago you were never going to wear a dress shoe again, but you got to go back in. So what are you going to do? Well, maybe you're going to try one of those fancy sneakers. Yes, the bottom is 100% sneaker, the top is dress shoe, or at least looks like a dress shoe. Point being is you got some new options, but you don't know if you're going to like it. In this case, I recommend trying something that's affordable. Well, gents, if you're looking for affordable shoes that you can grab on Amazon for well under $100, check out Bruno Marc. Gents, I've talked about Bruno Marc before. I tested out their shoes, and what I love about them is that they are an affordable option for those of you guys on a tight budget. And even if you've got a bit more to spend, why overspend? Especially when you can try out a particular style, you can see how this look works for you. And yeah, I love a Goodyear welt, but not every shoe has to be handmade, has to be made from the finest materials. Sometimes you just need a shoe that's going to get the job done and is incredibly affordable. So gents, go over and check out all the different styles, all the different selections over at Bruno Marc. And besides shoes, they got a wide selection of boots, all different types of styles. But yeah, I'm recommending these fun sneaker slash dress shoes, hybrid, whatever it is. Seriously, I've seen so many companies come out with variations of these, and I just love the fact that Bruno Marc makes it affordable for you to be able to try this, see if it works in your wardrobe, wear it to work a few times, and yeah, who knows, maybe it's going to be your new look. In any case, gents, use that link in the description of today's video. Check them out, use that link, it's the best deal on the web. Where to spend, where to save, the next principle you need to know, timelessness. Now, when you're out there shopping, you probably notice that some of the more fashionable, newer items are more expensive. But what you don't see is the hidden price that if they're fashionable, they're probably going to be out of style here soon. So they're even more expensive because you have a limited amount of time that you can actually wear them. Now, compare that to timeless items. And when I say timeless items, these are things that have been in men's wardrobes for at least 20 years, which may sound a bit dated, but thankfully men's style moves actually relatively slow, and there are so many timeless items that actually look really good. Just go back and look at some of the classically dressed men of 2010, 2000, 1990, 1980. You notice how these guys could probably walk out of that picture, out of their time period, and they would still look good today? That's because they're wearing timeless items. Now, a classic outfit here is a dark, well-fitted suit, but on the casual side, dark denim, laced boots, white sneakers, a black or white t-shirt in crew neck or v-neck, a dark colored long sleeve Henley, or a classic white button down. Now I'm not saying you have to spend more money on items like this, but if you find something you like, it fits, it looks good on you, I do think a man stands justified whenever he spends a little bit more grabbing that item to strengthen his wardrobe. Now right with that, we've got the versatility principle. When you're making a determination of where to spend, where to save, the versatility of an item, I think should play into this big time. That means, is it going to mix and match with other items in your wardrobe? When you're looking to spend good money on a piece of clothing and it doesn't match anything you own, that's a problem because you're going to need to go out there and spend more to find items that will work with it. The opposite is true when you're looking at an item that's already going to go with everything in your wardrobe. It's going to be a force multiplier. In that case, that shirt or that jacket, if you're going to pay a little bit extra, it's probably justified, especially if you don't have a whole lot of jackets. Yeah, you're looking at this jean jacket, fatigue jacket, you really like it, it fits you well, it's full price, it's not on sale. Well, if you know you're going to wear the heck out of it, we're entering fall, we're entering winter, it's a timeless item, so it's not going to go out of style. Notice how we've already checked off 2 principles. Boom, all of a sudden, this is an item that easily you can justify spending a little bit more for to add it to your wardrobe. Next up, let's talk about build quality that you can see, build quality that you can feel. So the build quality that you can see is often going to be, let's say, the drape of the fabric. When you're looking at suits, the difference between an expensive suit and a cheap suit is often the material, the fabric that they've chosen to make the garment from. You see, there are cheap fabrics out there made from synthetic materials that cost maybe a couple dollars a yard. It takes on average 2.5 yards to make a suit. As you can see, they're only spending a couple dollars right there on the material that are going into a suit that they're trying to sell you for $100, which for a guy starting off, or if you're looking for a costume suit, is fine. But if you want something to be able to wear into an interview, or maybe you're entering the consulting and banking industry and you don't want to be embarrassed, in that case, you want to go with a garment that you know they're using a luxury material like worsted wool. Now, of course, wools come in a wide variety of quality and price options. You've got some that are $25 a yard, other ones $250 plus a yard. But the point here, when it comes to quality, when it comes to the drape, when it comes to the touch, whether it's a jumper, whether it's a sweater, whether it's a pair of shoes, and it's the suppleness of the leather on the upper, you can expect when you start looking for higher quality, the price is going to go up because the materials, the craftsmanship, everything that goes into the build cost the manufacturer more. Now, I mentioned something about comfort quality, the comfort build. This is when you're paying a premium for a better fit. Items that fit you better oftentimes are made for less people. If you can imagine, off-the-rack manufacturers, they make a shirt and it's designed to fit 100 different bodies. I mean, seriously, no two guys are alike, and they're trying to sell to as many people as possible. The trade-off there is you get shirts, you get jackets with larger armholes, which actually give you less freedom of movement. So when it comes to clothing and you want something that really fits you perfectly, you are going to pay sometimes a bit more, sometimes a lot more, especially if you go for the ultimate, which is custom. Now, there's a lot of ways to arbitrage the system. A lot of people now are ordering custom shirts directly from manufacturers, maybe over in Bangkok, Thailand. But still, it's going to be very difficult to get something custom at the same price that you can get something off the rack when it's on sale, unless you live right next to a factory or you've got a good friend that's a tailor. Now, this next one is huge, especially to understand why some people spend so much money on items that to the vast majority of the world seem like they have no value. So when it comes to spending, when it comes to saving, let's talk about the love it principle. So there are guys out there that you could offer thousands of dollars to wear a suit and they would say no. There are other men out there that have no problem spending thousands of dollars per suit and wearing them all the time. Watches are another great example. A lot of guys don't wear them. They think they're redundant. Other people think, hey, this $10 or $20 watch is my favorite. This $150, $200 watch, I love it. People go out there and they spend thousands. You guys know this, tens of thousands of dollars on watches. I mean, what's up with this? These guys from the outside look very similar. They've got the same type of job. They maybe make the same amount of money, yet one of these guys, when it comes to clothing, is spending 5 to 10 to maybe even 20 times more than the other. Well, the answer on this one isn't so much logic as it is with what people are fascinated by and what they're interested in. I mean, seriously, the guy that's not spending his money on suits or watches is spending his money on something. Could be video games, cars, trips. People have got their things. People got their interests. And for some people, a lot of guys probably that follow my channel, they just find a fascination with the mechanics of watches. They start getting into niche fragrances and the way they're concocted and the complexities of the notes and the way they break out. Honestly, I don't think there's anything wrong with this as long as you stay within a healthy budget and don't go into debt. But yeah, you're going to find some people will spend a lot more on something that many people consider frivolous, but to them is important, to them has meaning. Now, this next one, very practical. That is the hard use principle. For most guys, the easy example here are their daily use shoes. The shoes that you're going to put the miles on, the shoes that you are going to put through a beating. But an item in this category that oftentimes get neglected is your outerwear. This is the jacket that serves you every fall and spring during the rainy season that, yeah, I think you could spend a little bit more money on and be looking good, be feeling good. Maybe instead of going with that cheap rain jacket, pick up a waxed canvas jacket that, yeah, requires a little bit more maintenance, but has a really rugged, just masculine feel to it. Leather jackets fit in this category as well. I do see a lot of guys actually lean into their leather jackets and wear the heck out of them, but one problem here is I think a lot of guys actually keep that jacket too long, and it would behoove them maybe to go out there and find a new one, or at least to recondition the one that they keep wearing that looks like it's pretty beat up. But yeah, any item in your wardrobe that you wear through, that it seems like you're wearing out, that is a good item to spend more money on. And the next time you buy an investment piece that is going to last, that's going to be able to take a beating. Now, gents, if you want more, if you want the specifics to rebuilding your wardrobe, I've got you covered in this video right here. So continue the viewing experience. You've got the principles down. I know you want some specifics. We've got you covered in this video. Boom, right here. So dive into it. Good one.